Good evening and welcome to JJK Yoga Tuesday Night Yoga. We're going to be doing a more gentle class today, really focusing on twists. So we've got about a minute before we start, just so the latecomers can join us as well. So in this time, maybe just get some props if you need them. I'm not going to be using props, but options could be blocks, strap, maybe a couple of cushions if you don't have blocks, or a blanket. So when you're ready, just come to lie on your mat. So we're going to start in a supine position. Now if you can, I'd like you to bring the soles of your feet together and just let your knees splay out to the sides. If you find this uncomfortable, you can just keep your feet on the mat, keep your knees bent if you can, and then just draw your knees in together. Your feet can be hip distance or slightly wider. Arms down by your sides, palms facing up. For anyone that's just joined us, we're just going to come to lie on our mat. Options for feet. You want the soles of the feet to be touching, knees splayed out. Or you can have your feet on the mat, knees bent, feet about hip distance or wider, knees joined together. Arms down by the sides, palms facing up. Once you're in your comfortable position, just close your eyes here and start to bring your awareness within. So just take a few breaths here just to arrive to your mat. Maybe just take an opportunity here to scan your body. Notice if you're holding on to any tension. And then slowly start to switch your mind off from any thoughts outside of the practice and start to bring your awareness within. So we're going to slowly start to bring our attention to our breath. Just take a moment here to observe your natural breath without changing it. And I want you to slowly start to move towards your yogic breath, the Ujjayi breath, which involves breathing in and out of the nostrils. And as you breathe in and out of the nostrils, you create a slight restriction to the back of the throat, and that creates an audible breath, which almost sounds like an ocean wave rolling in and out. Just take a moment to notice that sound. As you inhale, start to draw the breath into the body so that your belly starts to rise and the sides of your ribs start to expand. And then as you exhale and draw the breath out of the body, slowly start to lift your pelvic floor and then draw your belly button in towards your spine. So for each inhale, you really allow the belly to rise, the sides of the ribs to expand. And for each exhale, as you draw the breath out of the body, keep that pelvic floor lifted, draw the belly button towards the spine, and just feel yourself melting into the mat. Now start to count the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. So we're going to be working on twists today, so I really want you to use your breath to really warm up your torso and the organs inside your torso. Just getting it ready for today's practice. Now if your breath lengths are slightly different, see if you can start to equalize your breath. So maybe find a point in the middle where you can equalize your breath, but without any force. If you find that your mind starts to drift away from your thoughts, from your breath, then maybe just park your thoughts to one side and just bring it back to the breath. Just keep counting the length of your inhale, the length of your exhale. Just a few more breaths here. For your last few breaths, maybe draw the breath into areas of tightness that you might be feeling in your body. And use your breath to maybe just soften that area. After your next full breath, slowly open your eyes and start to bring yourself back into the room. So if you've got your knees splayed out to the side, just place your hands either side of your thighs and draw your knees back in towards each other. So I want everyone to have their feet on the mat, knees bent. And then just draw your right knee into your chest. As you inhale, keep drawing that knee in. And maybe draw that knee towards your right armpit. Exhale and try to draw that lower back down towards the mat. Really squeeze that knee in towards that right armpit. On your next inhale, I want you to lengthen that leg up towards the ceiling. Just wrap your hands around your right thigh. Keep drawing that heel away. Once you find that first point of resistance, just breathe into it. Now slowly bend your knee and place your foot, the outside of your foot, onto your left thigh. Keep that right foot flexed and place your right hand onto your right leg, just drawing it away. This might be enough for you. If you want to go a little bit further, you can raise your left foot off the mat, wrap your hands around your left thigh, and as you draw your left thigh in towards you, use your right arm to draw that right leg away. Now slowly lower your left foot down if you've got it raised. Release your right foot. Bend that knee and place it on the foot. And then slowly draw your left knee into your chest. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw that knee towards your left armpit. On your next inhale, slowly raise your left leg towards the ceiling, drawing the heel up to the ceiling, toes towards the face. Wrap your hands around your thigh. So remember, if you have a tight hamstring, just have a bend in your knee. You just want to find that first point of resistance and breathe into it. Now slowly bend your left knee, place the outside of your left foot onto your right thigh. You can use your left hand to draw that left leg away. That might be enough for you. Or you might want to raise your right foot off the mat, wrap your hands around your right thigh and use your left arm to draw your left leg away. So as you draw that right thigh in towards you, use your left arm to draw the left leg away. And then slowly lower that right foot down, lower the left foot down. Bring your arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower your knees to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale to the left. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the left. Lift the knees back up. This time, take an inhale. As you exhale your knees to the right, I want you to lift your left arm up and bring your hand over your right hand. Inhale, come all the way back. Exhale, again, bring that left arm over your right hand. Inhale all the way back, and then exhale once more. And then come back all the way around. Let's do that to the other side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, drop your knees to the left. Bring your right arm over your left. Inhale all the way back. Exhale. Inhale. And then last one. Exhale. And all the way back. Now just draw your knees into your chest. Have a gentle rock of the knees to the chest. And then we're just going to slowly roll over to one side and bring ourselves to a seated position. So if you can, try to come to a cross-legged position. Bring your right leg in front of your left. If you find it uncomfortable to sit in a cross-legged position, you can come to kneeling. You can maybe just come to your legs out in front. Or if you need to use a chair, if you have problems with your knees, just sit on a chair. Once you're in your comfortable position, I want you to slowly bring your right hand outside your left knee and just walk your left hand round. Gaze towards me, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to slowly twist your lower spine towards the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist your middle spine towards the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, now twist your upper spine. Now from there, draw a line with your nose and turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Now I want you to take your left arm, bring it forwards and over. Forwards and over. Forward and over. Now really twist towards your left and then come back over. Bring your torso over your left knee, take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to slowly walk your hands forward, bringing your torso over your left knee. Keep drawing your right hip down into the mat. And then slowly come back up. Now walk to center, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to walk your hands forwards. Again, just bringing your torso over your legs. And then come back up. Switch legs. Bring your left leg in front if you're in a cross-legged position. Now bring your left hand outside your right knee and bring your right arm behind you. Gaze towards me, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to twist to the right from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. Inhale, lengthen. And I want you to just draw a line with your nose to look over your right shoulder. And again, you're going to just take circles with your left arm. So 3 circles. Place your hand outside your knee. Again, just twist towards the left. And then come back round. You're going to look over your right knee. Take an inhale. And then you're going to exhale, walk forwards, drawing your torso over your right knee. Keep drawing your left hip back down into the mat. And then slowly walk yourself back up. Turn your torso to the front. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're just going to walk yourself forwards. Keep drawing your sit bones back into the mat. And then slowly come all the way back up. And let's make our way into a tabletop position. So bring your wrists directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Toes pointing back. So as you take an inhale, you're going to draw your tailbone back, chest forward. Gaze is forward. Exhale, slowly round your spine up towards the ceiling, chin towards your chest. Inhale, tailbone back, chest forward. Try to draw your shoulders down towards your knees. Exhale, keep rounding the spine up towards the ceiling, chin towards your chest. Last time. Inhale, chest forward, tailbone back. Exhale, really round the spine up to the ceiling. Round through your shoulders. And then slowly come back to a tabletop position. Now, inhale, you're going to bring your right arm out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly bring it underneath your left armpit. Inhale, bring the arm all the way back out to the side. Exhale, thread it underneath your left armpit. Inhale, come all the way back. Exhale, thread it underneath the arm and just stay there. Come down to your right cheek and walk your left hand to the top of the mat. So you're really extending the left side and just stretching under your right shoulder. Slowly walk your left hand back, press down into your left hand and come back to tabletop. Let's do that on the other side. So as you inhale, reach your left arm out to the side. Exhale, thread it underneath your right armpit. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, thread it under. Inhale, all the way back up. And then exhale, come to lie on your left cheek. Really draw your left shoulder under. And then walk your right hand to the top of the mat. So this time we're really breathing into the under part of the left shoulder, extending out right side. And then slowly walk your hand back. Press down into your right palm to come back to tabletop. From here, I want you to bring your right foot in front. So you're in a lunge position. Now make sure your front knee is stacked above your front heel. You can move your back leg further back so that you get a stretch at the front of your left thigh. But just make sure your front knee isn't overshooting your ankle. You can use blocks here if you need to. So you can just have a block underneath each hand. And then just hold it there. Just really breathe into the front of that left hip, the left thigh. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly shift your hips back. Extending your front leg, lifting your toes. Inhale. As you exhale, maybe you can draw your torso onto the inside of that right leg. Inhale, come forwards again. Exhale back. Inhale forwards. And then you're going to bring your hands onto the inside of your right leg. So really draw that right knee into that right arm. You're going to stay here, or maybe you can come down to your elbows. If you have blocks, you can use blocks to place underneath your arms. Try to keep your neck nice and long. The gaze is just in front of you, but make sure your right knee is drawn into your right arm. And then if you come down to your elbow, slowly come up. And then from here, I want everyone to draw your back leg in so that your front leg and your back leg are parallel. So again, check your front knee and your front heel align, and then your back leg and front leg are parallel. Lovely. Now from here, I want you to raise your right arm up and then place the back of your right hand onto your sacrum, fingertips pointing down. Your gaze is still forward, but keep drawing that right shoulder back. Then lift your left arm and place the back of your left hand to the back, into the outside of that right knee. Again, keep looking forward. Now I want you to imagine your spine is like a spiral staircase. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly rotate towards your right from your lower spine. Use your left hand pressing against your knee to help that rotation. Take an inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, start to rotate from the middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, really rotate from your upper spine now. Just hold it there for a few breaths. Now from here, you can either stay there or maybe you can extend your back arm so your hand is in line with your shoulder. You can just stay there or maybe extend your front arm. And then we're just twisting here. Gaze can just be forwards or you can turn it over your right hand. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back. Step back into your tabletop. And then we're going to slowly step our left foot forward. Okay. So again, really draw that right leg back so you get that stretch at the front of that right thigh. Make sure your left knee and heel are in line. So you don't want your knee shooting forward. You want to make sure it's stacked right above your heel. Just breathe into that stretch. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly draw your hips back, extend your front leg. Lift the toes here and then just draw your torso onto the inside of that left leg. Inhale, come forward. Exhale all the way back. Inhale, come forward. And this time bring your hands onto the inside of your left leg. So again, you're connecting that left knee towards that left arm. You can stay up on your hands, or maybe you can come down to your elbows, or maybe place some blocks underneath your forearms. Gaze is forward. Keep drawing that left knee into that left arm. Now slowly come back onto your hands. You come down to your elbows. And then bring your back leg forward so your front leg and back leg are parallel again. From there, you're going to reach your left arm up. Draw your left hand behind your sacrum. So again, just make sure your fingertips are pointing down and that left shoulder's drawing back. Gaze is forward. So really press down into your front foot and your back leg. Imagine your thighs are drawing towards each other, so you're really stable, sort of hips down. Then reach your right arm up, take an inhale. As you exhale, place the back of that hand onto the back of that left knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to twist your left from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you might gaze over your left shoulder. Now you might just stay here. Or maybe you want to extend your back arm. Hand in line with your shoulder. You might work here, or you might extend your front arm forwards. Keep twisting towards your left. Gaze can be in front, or it can be over your left hand. And then slowly make your way forward. Bring that foot back. Come to a tabletop. Now bring your big toes to touch. Sit down onto your heels. Have your knees about hip distance or slightly wider. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to walk your hands forward and slowly make your way down to a child's pose. Now, if your forehead doesn't meet the floor, you can use a block or a cushion or anything you have underneath your head so you can just relax your forehead onto something. Your next inhale, I just want you to creep your fingertips a little bit more forward, and as you exhale, draw those hips further back. Next inhale, slowly lift your head, and then you're going to slowly walk your hands to the top left-hand corner of your mat, really drawing that right hip down. And then just bring your right hand on top of your left hand. Drop that right shoulder and just drop your forehead down. Really extending the right side of the body. And your next inhale, slowly walk your hands back to center. And as you exhale, walk your hands over to the top right-hand corner. This time bringing your left hand over your right hand. Again, just dropping your left shoulder, dropping your forehead down. Just extending the whole left side of the body. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands back to center. And then from here, we're going to start to make our way back to tabletop. We're just going to walk those hands a couple of inches forward. Tuck your toes, and as you inhale, you're going to lift your knees and come to your first downward dog. Now in your downward dog, you might just want to pedal out your feet. Do whatever feels right to you. Maybe you just want to bend both knees, draw the hips back. It's really just working into the backs of the legs. And then slowly make your way to a static downward dog. So remember, if downward dog is an option that's quite challenging, you can always stay in your tabletop position. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can bend your knees and just draw the top of your chest towards your thighs, but try to keep the hips nice and high. Now from here, I want you to slowly start to walk your way towards your hands. So you're just bringing your feet towards your hands. When you reach the top of your mat, just bend your knees as much as you need to connect your chest to your thighs. And then just grab opposite elbows. Drop the head here. Maybe nod yes and no with your head, just releasing any tension at the back of the neck. And maybe just sway from side to side, releasing any tension in your lower back. And then you're going to slowly release your arms. And as you inhale, press down into your heels as you slowly roll up to standing. The last thing to lift is your head. And then turn to face me. Bring your feet, your knees and your thighs to touch. Really press down into the balls of the big toes, the little toes and both sides of the heels. So you're really pressing down through all four corners of the feet. Maybe bend your knees here slightly. And then as you draw your kneecaps up, then start to straighten your legs. Tuck your pubic bone towards your tailbone and lift your pelvic floor. And then slowly start to raise your arms up and over your head. Now grab the back of the right wrist with your left hand. Really reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling as you press down through your right heel. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly draw your hand over to the left, hips over to the right, really extending the right side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. This time, reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling, really pressing down through your left heel. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the hand over to the right, hips over to the left, really extending your left side. And then come back up to center, hands through prayer. Come to the top of your mat again. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. Exhale, slowly bend your knees and swan dive down. Fingertips to the mat or your shins and come up halfway, so your torso is parallel to the mat. Gaze to the top edge of your mat. Exhale, plant your hands down and just step your feet back, drop your knees. So you're back in your tabletop. And then step your right foot forward. So we're back in our lunge position. Again, check your front leg and back leg are parallel. So from here, I'm going to give you options. So you're either going to work with the first pose, which is coming to this, and really working on the twist over to the right, really drawing the torso to the right. From here, you can work on extending your arms out. Okay, otherwise, we're going to slowly start to bring our left elbow over our right knee and start to bring our hands into prayer. And then really twisting. So that's the second option. Okay, so we'll all start with the first option. So as you inhale, raise your right arm up towards the ceiling and then place that hand on the back of your sacrum. Again, drawing that right shoulder back. Inhale, reach your left arm up to the ceiling and then slowly place the back of that hand outside the right knee. Take an inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, slowly start to twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. So you can stay here, work on this, maybe work on extending your arms out. Otherwise, I take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to slowly bend your left elbow and draw it outside your right knee. Now really hook it outside your right knee, and then draw your torso over to the right. Now from here, bring your back hand to meet your front hand in a prayer position. Now you're really going to twist your body over and try to bring your hands to heart center. And then just hold it here. So keep breathing. Wherever you are, keep twisting the torso to the right. Gaze is just over your hands. Keep breathing, guys. With each exhale, see if you can twist that torso a little bit more to the right. And then slowly start to make your way out. And then you're just going to step yourself back into a tabletop. Bring the big toes to touch, knees slightly wider than hip distance, and come to a quick child's pose. Slowly start to make your way back to tabletop. And this time, step your left foot in between your hands. Again, come into that lunge position. So the front leg and back leg are parallel. So make sure the weight is equally distributed between the front foot and the back leg. And then slowly come up. So again, you're either going to come to the first option, which we'll all start with, or you can join me then to do a second option. So to start with, raise your left arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, place that palm onto the back of your spine, so the lower part of your spine. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, place the back of that hand onto the outside of the left knee. So start with your torso facing forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. So remember, if you're staying with the first option, you have the options to extend your arms. Otherwise, you're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your right elbow and hook it outside your left knee. Really hook the elbow outside and draw your torso towards the left. And then you're going to slowly bring your back hand to meet your front hand in a prayer position. Take an inhale. As you exhale, really draw that torso to the left as you bring your prayer to heart center. Just gazing over your hands. And you're just going to hold it here, really twisting that torso to the left. Remember, twists are great for massaging the organs, stimulating the removal of toxins, and also great for just stretching out the spinal muscles. One more breath here. And then slowly start to make your way forward. Place your hands down in front, either side of your front foot and step back. And come back to your child's pose. Now from here, and slowly start to make your way back to tabletop. Tuck your toes and come back to your downward dog. And then from downward dog, you're going to slowly walk your feet towards your hands, coming into a standing forward fold. This time you can just wrap your arms behind your knees, grabbing opposite elbows. And again, just drop your head. Try to keep the hips nice and high. Maybe just bend your knees so your chest can connect with your thighs. With each exhale, maybe you can draw your hips a little bit higher, just breathing into the backs of the legs. And then slowly release the arms. And as you press down into the heels, inhale and roll up to standing. So we're going to do some balancing work. Now from here, if you have difficulties balancing, you can use a wall or a chair. Otherwise, we're going to slowly start to shift the weight into our left foot. And as we start to press the left foot into the mat, we're going to start to bend our right knee, lift that right foot off the mat. Inhale the right arm up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, place the back of that hand onto your sacrum. And then you're going to inhale the left arm up and exhale, place the back of that hand onto the outside of your right knee. And again, we're just going to slowly start to twist our body over to the right. So pretty much what we were doing in our lunge pose. Now you can stay here, or maybe you can grab the outside of your right foot and extend your leg forwards. Okay? From there, you might want to extend your back arm. Gaze can be forwards, or you can start to look over your backhand. If you have your knee bent, you can start to extend the front hand forward. Keep breathing here, guys. If you fall out, just try and come back in. Keep that standing leg strong. Really twist the torso towards the right. And then we're slowly going to come back to the front and release that foot down. Well done, guys. I'm just going to turn so I can do it with you and face you. So we're going to do the same thing again. Start to shift the weight into the right foot. And then you're going to slowly start to lift your left foot off the mat, bending your left knee. Reach your left arm up. Bring the hand behind you and place it onto your sacrum. Inhale your right hand, place the hand outside your left knee. So again, you're either twisting the body to the left. You're going to stay here, or maybe you can grab the outside of your left foot, extending that leg. And then maybe bring your arm behind you. Gaze over that arm or forwards. Or if you've got your knee bent, you can start to extend that front arm. Keep twisting the body over to the left. Again, keep that standing leg strong. If you fall out, just come back in. And then slowly come back to center. Well done, guys. Now come to the center of your mat and take a nice wide stance, about a leg distance apart. And then pigeon toe your feet. So have your heels out, toes in. If you've got a block, you can place a block in front of you on the mat. Otherwise, you're just going to try to, maybe you might need to lengthen your feet slightly wider if your hand doesn't reach. Now bring your hands to your hips. Really press down in the outer parts of your feet. So you almost want that natural arch in the center of your feet. Take an inhale, really lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, slowly start to pivot from your hips. So you want to try to bring your torso parallel to the mat. Keep your gaze forward so your neck is nice and long. And just hold it there. Then bring your left hand palm underneath your face. So if you've got a block, you have a block underneath your hand. As I said, if your hand doesn't reach the mat, just increase the stance of your feet. distance. From here, make sure your hips are still in line with your heels. And then you're going to slowly, as you inhale, reach your right arm out to the side. So your tailbone is reaching back and the crown of your head is reaching forward. And then you're just twisting your body. Your gaze can be forward or it can be up towards your right hand. And then slowly lower the right hand back down. Switch hands, so place your right hand down in front of you. And as you inhale, slowly reach your left arm out to the side. So again, try to keep your hips in line with your heels. Really extending out through the crown of your head. And then slowly lower the hand down. Now from here, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to slowly start to walk over to your right foot. So you come into a high lunge, and then you're going to drop your knee, coming into a low lunge. And then we're going to make our way into pigeon. So walk your right foot over to the left. And then draw your left leg back. So really tuck that left hip under. Walk your hands either side of your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly walk yourself over your front leg. So you're really tucking that left hip under and drawing that right hip back. And then you want to try and relax your shoulders here. So if your head doesn't reach the floor, again, just place a block or a cushion or a blanket, anything you have underneath your forehead. If you don't have anything, just use your hands, stack one hand on top of the other. So lots of options here. Once you're in the position, maybe just return to the breath we started with. Energetically drawing that left hip under, that right hip back. And then after your next full breath, slowly start to bring yourself back up. Start by walking your hands either side of your hips, lengthening that spine as you inhale. And then we're going to slowly start to return back to that lunge position. And then walk our hands back to the center. So we're back into that forward, wide-legged forward fold. Then from there, you're going to walk your hands over to your left foot, coming back into a high lunge, drop your back knee, and then from here we're going to make our way to pigeon again. So you're going to walk your left foot over to the right, draw that right leg back, really tuck that right hip under. Again, walk your hands either side of your hips, inhale, extend your spine, and as you exhale, you're just going to walk your torso over your front leg. Again, really drawing that right hip under, that left hip back. Again, make sure you've got something for your forehead to rest on and try to relax your shoulders here. Once you find that first point of resistance, I just want you to draw your breath into that area. Just slowly using your breath to soften some of that resistance. After your next full breath, slowly bring yourself to an upright position. Lengthen your spine, inhale. And then you're going to slowly start to bring yourself back into that lunge. And then come back to that wide-legged forward fold. And from that wide-legged forward fold, I want you to just walk your feet slightly inwards so that this time your heels are in, your toes are out. And we're going to come to a squat. So in your squat, so if you can't come into squat, you can always use a wall or come to sit on a chair and then just work on your arms outside, either side of your thighs, just drawing those knees out. So even if you're sitting on a chair, you can come and join us with this twist. So you're going to bring your left arm out to the side, inhale your right arm up, and then slowly come back to a prayer position. And this time bring your right arm all the way out, extend your left arm. And then come back down. And then from here, we're going to come down to a seated position. Have your legs extended out in front of you. So pull the flesh from underneath your sit bones and try to create a nice long spine. And then you're going to bend your right knee, so your right foot is on the mat. You're either going to have the foot on the inside of your left leg, or you can bring the foot over. If you're bringing the foot over, make sure your sit bone is still rooted to the mat. If your sit bone is lifting, just come back to this option. From here, everyone reach your right arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, just place it on the mat behind you. If you have a block and your hand doesn't reach, just use a block. Or if, like me, you've got long arms, you can just come onto your fingertips. And inhale your left arm, and then just bring your arm over your right leg. Again, gaze forwards, inhale, and as you exhale, twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist from your upper spine. And then inhale, and as you exhale, maybe turn your gaze over your right shoulder, really twisting the body to the right. Make sure you keep that left foot active. And then take one more breath here. And then we're going to come all the way around and take a counter pose. And then release that right leg down onto the mat. Again, pull the flesh from underneath your sit bones. Start with a nice long spine. Then bend your left knee. Bring your left foot to the mat. So it's either on the inside of your right leg or onto the outside. Just make sure if you come onto the outside, both sit bones are still rooted into the mat. And slowly extend your left arm up as you inhale. As you exhale, bring the hand behind your sacrum onto the mat. Again, make sure that right foot is active. Then inhale your right arm up. Bring it over your left leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from the upper spine. I think the other time it should have been middle spine. And then inhale. As you exhale, turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Really twisting your torso to the left now. One more breath here. And then slowly come all the way around. Gentle counterbalance. And then slowly start to make your way down to your mat. So come to lie on your mat. Start by drawing your knees into your chest. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side. And then from there, we're going to slowly come to a happy baby. So you can either grab the outsides of your shins, maybe your big toes, or the outsides of your feet. So you really want to draw your lower back down towards the mat, soles of the feet parallel to the ceiling, knees drawing down towards the mat as well. And then maybe just rock your happy baby here. And then come to stillness. Slowly draw the knees back into the chest. And then you're going to place your feet onto the mat. Have your arms out nice and wide. Feet hip distance or slightly wider. Take an inhale. As you exhale, drop your knees over to the right. And then turn your gaze over to the left. You stay here, or if you want, you can lift your right foot and place your right foot over your left knee. Just feel that stretch along the right side of your body. And slowly release the foot. Bring the knees back to center. Take an inhale, exhale, drop the knees to the other side. Gaze over your left shoulder. And this time, if you want, you can bring your right foot. I think I said right foot before, it should have been left. Bring your right foot over your left knee. Just feeling the stretch along the left side. And then slowly release the foot. Bring the knees back to center. If you want to have a gentle rock of your knees to chest here, you can. And then we're going to slowly lengthen our legs down onto the mat. Just lengthen our arms down to the sides as we start to make our way to Shavasana. So if you want to sort of put on extra layers here, or you place a blanket over you, or switch off your light, you can. And then we're going to slowly come to lie on our mat if you have got up. So then just allow everything to soften now. Just take a last scan of your body. Notice if you're still holding on to tension anywhere. Maybe just take a few deep breaths into that area. And then just let your feet splay out to the sides. Just soften your legs, your thighs. Let your palms face the ceiling, fingertips rolling in. Soften your forearms and your arms. Just relax the whole body into the mat. Just relax the front body into the back body, and the back body just melting down. Release any tension in your neck, your face and your jaw. And just soften that area around your eyes, your cheeks and your forehead as we come into our final pose, Shavasana. I invite you to stay in Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes to really reap the benefits of today's practice. Namaste.